Hi, Dorie.
Cassie. Welcome back,
Welcome
everybody.
back.
Yeah. Oh gosh. After the, scary time of episode one, I can't believe here we are
I
again.
know we're back. We
But
did it. We're back.
we did it. So my goodness, crazy lady, what on earth are we going to do today?
We are going to make signs. We're both doing different ways. You are going to do it from a pizza pan from the dollar store,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, dollar store crafting. Yes.
And I have a partial dollar store and then I have just not. I am going to be working with canvas. I'm going to show you what they call a reverse canvas. So
You're
that's what
like
I'm going to be
just not.
doing. Yeah. So I have a dollar store canvas. The frame itself is not very pretty, so I am going to show you the frame that I have from Michael's. This is the pretty frame that is under the canvases from Michael's, so I'm going to do both. And I have
Oh,
a little trick for us crafters to share
a
also.
little trick. All
Yes.
right. Well, I'm not Michael's fancy today. I am dollar store crafting this all the way. I think the only thing I don't have from the dollar store is my handy dandy Gorilla Glue. So I've
Mm.
got, I know, right? I got my pizza pans and
Oh, I love that color.
I painted them. So
The
this
blue
is
one.
the,
The blue one is my
yeah,
favorite.
you love the blue ones. This is the satin
Yep.
blue, and this is my orchid, which,
Yes.
matches
Beautiful.
my love of everything purple. Speaking
Mm-hmm.
of purple, this beautiful, sparkly
Yes.
little cup that someone made me, the
That
name
one
on
was
it.
so fun to make.
hmm And it's purple, so,
Yes, of
it's
course. Purple.
rock on, fabulous. Then, oops, I gotta lean over here. Forgive my lean. I've got some dollar store ribbon. I've got some dollar store flowers. I got my handy dandy Gorilla Glue hot glue gun. So if you guys are not familiar with hot glue, any old hot glue will work. But if you want your project to stay fixed forever,
Yes,
Gorilla Glue hot
definitely.
glue.
They are a little bit more expensive than your standard hot glue gun, but really they are amazing. I don't do a lot of hot glue crafts. I mean, except for the wreaths that Dory got me addicted to. So I just got the small one and it works fine for me. But you have the giant one because
I
you're
do. I do. I have the big boy. So
yep.
because I do a
So
lot of flowers and wreaths and that sort of thing. So then you're also going to need some painter's tape, some paint from the dollar store. I found this one, it is chalkboard paint, which is really neat.
ooh.
And then if you're going to do a finish that's not a spray paint finish, then this is the Mod Podge, um, what's it called? The gloss luster
Mm-hmm.
for the top coat
Mm-hmm.
and some dollar store paint brushes. Got a cute little dollar store little paint palette because I was trying to be fancy with my dollars. Gotta be
Yeah,
fancy
we love
with
the
my
dollar
dollars.
store.
Love the dollar store. So, and then I cut some SVGs from
Yep.
vinyl.
Yep.
Got those. So I got my
I cut
stencil.
mine out of HTV because I like HTV.
HTV.
Yes, I like the iron-on when I do my, especially canvas, just because I feel the permanence of HTV, if I sell, makes it more comfortable for me, so I don't have to worry about their sign falling apart with the adhesive.
Oh, okay. All right. Getting fancy on me. I see. I see how it is today. I see how it is today. All right. All
Mm-hmm.
right. HTV. So for my blue sign, I have, I have my handy dandy stencil that I cut out on my
Mm-hmm.
Cricut. All right. And then I'm going to paint a little bit on my sign.
All
I
right, and
am.
then I'm going to take apart the dollar store canvas that I have. And
Yeah.
this is It's actually a staple remover that I found on Amazon, and because I was just using a screwdriver, but this gave me a little bit better leverage. So a screwdriver and the staple peeler remover, and then I have some pliers.
Right on. Okay, you know what? I think we should just dive
I
in.
think let's do it.
All right. So what's your first step? So you're doing the canvas. What's your first
Yes.
step for the canvas?
My first step is going to be to remove all these annoying staples. I've seen a lot of crafters where they will take a really sharp X-Acto knife and cut right here. I just feel like sometimes maybe that wouldn't give me enough room to restaple the canvas. So I actually really like removing the staples. So that's my first project, is to remove the staples.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull down the camera here so people can see what I'm doing. My first step actually was to spray paint the pizza pan. So I spray painted it yesterday and let
Mm-hmm.
it sit for 24 hours. You want to make sure it's, nice and dry. It might need a second coat. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. And then the next thing I need to do is I decided to do black stripes and to do as the home stencil in the black paint. So I've already
Ooh.
measured it. I know, I'm so excited. So I've already measured it and it is 10 inches, my stencil. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the stencil in the middle and then I'm going to tape off two straight areas where I can paint a black accent line.
Oh my gosh, Dory, this is gonna be so cute.
I'm thinking, well, I totally needed another sign for the front of my house because I I went to this DIY conference,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so much fun. And my daughter went with me, my Adia, and she and I had just a ton of fun. And we made this amazing sign, and it has weathered the storm for the last 2.5 years, but it's starting
Wow.
to get kind of janky. So, and it was a
Yeah.
stencil. It was a stencil sign as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of fun and exciting to be able to do something stencily.
Yeah, I haven't done, I've done a couple things with stencils, but I don't feel comfortable with paint a lot of the time. So I'm always worried about leakage.
Oh, I understand. I understand. Well, I am not too worried about it because this is a vinyl stencil.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've made sure that it is completely adhered to the pizza pan, you'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to paint with no issue.
Oh, good.
So I'm just removing my transfer tape right now.
Yeah, sorry for the extra noise. These staples are quite noisy.
Are they just bonking? Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah,
bonk.
they
Boop,
are
boop, boop.
they are in there good.
A little more transfer tape to pick up here. Your transfer tape. So you want to be super careful at this point because you don't want to rip off any of your pretty spray paints.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
And then you just smooth it down. A squeegee would probably be a very good thing to have right now.
Oh yeah, because you definitely want to make sure that around your letters there's
It
no
is
bubbles or creases.
right. No bubbles, no creases. Very good. I'm good. All right.
All right, so my Michaels frame, I've already had, this has been done for a really long time. I used stain. The frames under the Michaels canvases are actually, they're not bad. They're actually really pretty. So I'm actually kind of nervous. This one just looks, the dollar store one just looks basic, but I mean, from the dollar store, it's got to be all right. My little trick that I have to share is stain is super, super stinky, but it does make like these really pretty, I mean, wood. It's gorgeous. But a little trick that I learned is that you can use acrylic paint and baby wipes. What you do is you take some acrylic paint of your choice and just think like most crafters already have a bajillion little acrylic paints hanging around their house. I mean, once you're addicted to one craft, it's kind of hard not to get addicted to another one. I have so much paint that it's silly. So I could do any color, purple, pink, green, whatever color. This one I'm just going to do gray. And then you just take a baby wipe and you squirt some paint in it, rub it on, and you've got your very own stain. No stink. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to smell up your garage. And it works
Okay, okay.
just,
Wait. Are you telling me that if I use a baby wipe
yep.
and acrylic paint?
I'm going to show you.
Okay, all right. I may have to try this, but what? Say what?
Yep, I'm going to show you. I just got one more staple and I am going to show you. I actually built a small, between the refrigerator and kitchen cupboard, like wheelie cart for my seasonings.
Okay.
And it was winter time and I didn't want to go outside and stain it, or I didn't want to spend the money on the correct color stain that I wanted. I just used 3 different colored grays and stained it myself. So this frame isn't too bad actually. I mean, it's just a basic square, but all right, so we're going to take a baby wipe. Just a plain old, I get the baby wipes at Costco just because as a cup maker, we use lots of baby wipes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just going to take the paint, put a little dab. Because this frame is so small, I don't want to do too much. Kind
Okay,
of
well,
just
funny that you say that, but I have this cute little thing that
look
I
at
was
you.
going to put my sign in so my sign would stand.
Oh.
And it is wood.
All
So
right, so look.
do I have to wear gloves?
I mean, it's just acrylic paint. It's water-based. It just depends on how messy you want to get. And then you just rub it on.
No
And
way.
depending on how dark you want it or how light you want it will depend on how much paint you use.
Okay.
But you just rub it on and
Sorry
it
about
wipes
that.
off just like stain.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's oh wait, that's a paper towel. My bad. Okay, let me try that again. Because I don't think I did that right, but okay, so I put a little paint on the baby wipe and then I
Yep.
rub it into the wood.
Yep. And then you just rub it off as much or as little as the stain look you're looking for. And on the rough, like this one, the outside's a little rougher, so it's not as pretty as this top part. But then
All
you just
right.
rotate your baby wipe, add paint as needed for desired look. Get in all the little nooks and crannies. On
Oh
the
my
rougher
goodness.
pieces, I like to just dab on the paint just because otherwise you get baby wipe fuzzies everywhere. But then also you don't have to worry, like it's just acrylic paint, so even like stain, it's so gross. This, you just go wash your hands and it comes right off.
Oh my gosh. Cassie, this is an amazing trick.
I told you.
The kids could do this. Like I could do
Yes.
so many projects, like, when I'm room mom and stuff like that. The kids could
Yes.
totally stain wood without any issues.
Yep. And it's not gonna stink up the schoolroom.
Well, and that's the thing. We would never do it in school because we wouldn't want, the children to be
Exactly.
around the fumes. But this is
No,
amazing.
and just think of the fun colors you could do. The kids could pick such crazy colors and have fun with it.
Okay, well, I completely just did a
And
very fun color.
paint is so much cheaper than any stain, and you could have any color. I've done brown. I did um a blue one. I've done a coral colored one.
Well, I just did a
And then
purple one.
look at that, see? And I did gray.
This is so adorable. I love it. And yeah, okay.
And
All
then
right.
I've done, when I did my little storage, I just used multiple colors of gray to kind of get the color I was looking for. And then you
Yeah.
just go over it as little or as much as you want to get the desired look you're going for.
Oh, this is adorable. Oh, I'm loving that. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Now I have another craft to be addicted to. Now that I know I can stain wood without using stain, which I absolutely hate.
Yes, I do love the colors of stain that they have, but it's just so stinky and messy.
It is very stinky. It is very messy. Okay, so I have already taped off my whole sign.
Ooh, that's
And
pretty.
so now it's just a matter of me painting it. And then I have to wait for it to dry. So this one won't be done for this podcast, but I will definitely post the pictures of it
Yes, in the Facebook page.
in the Facebook page.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
set this one aside, and then I'm gonna move on to my Michaels one while this one dries.
Okay.
As I said before, there are a lot of crafters that use permanent vinyl for their canvas signs, which is totally fine. Use what you have. I'm not saying that's wrong. I've done it in a pinch just because of colors. But I will say that I actually really, really prefer using HTV or iron-on vinyl for my canvas signs, just for the permanence. I feel like it's just, if a customer gets something and the adhesive um, wears out, just, old age, that kind of stuff, sometimes adhesive wears out. Iron-on, just like your shirts and stuff, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
permanent forever.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, I was just recently introduced to um HTV by you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
And just bought my
yes,
first heat press.
yes.
So I am just learning the amazing wonders of heat press.
All the things iron on. And then you got one off of Amazon that was not name brand. Just because that's what I had at the time, I have the Cricut Easy Press. So I'm going to turn it on. The heat setting I'm going to use is 305. That just seems to be what works best for me. I
Okay.
have this already. This canvas has been, like I said, this one has been done for a very long time, back when I was doing craft shows and stuff, and I just never got around to finishing it. So it's very, I don't know if you can see, it's very wrinkly and gross. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to let my heat press warm up, and then I'm going to go over this to kind of try and straighten it out a little bit. So after I
Okay.
get the design on, then I'm just going to put my frame, and then you have this really beautiful canvas sign. Instead of having make canvas signs like this, you can have them like this.
I see. Well, I am putting on my first layer of the black chalkboard paints. And I see that I already made a mistake because my stencil did not go all the way to the end at the top.
Uh-oh.
So, no, it's good because water-based paint that is
Oh,
still
yeah.
wet.
And you already have your baby wipes because you were practicing with.
Already have my baby wipes. And boom, there it is. And it is off, and we are good to go. Just
Good
making
catch,
sure.
though.
Yep. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So then now this has to dry before I can put the next coat on. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna move on to my sign that just requires the decal and the pretty flowers.
Yes.
Flowers. You know I love my flowers. But so far so good. I mean, right now it looks like a hot mess of tape and paint, but
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
think
those are
it's
gonna
gonna
look
turn
so
out.
pretty together.
I'm really excited. So for this one here, I was thinking I wanted a more country look. So I have some black and white
Oh,
uh,
yes.
check plaid and some burlap. And I thought that would go really cute with this one.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But okay, onward ever forward. Let's
Yes.
move on to the
I'm
next
just
one.
warming up my heat press, so I'm just gonna take it and go over this just like an iron. That's basically all this is. So if you have an iron at home, you can totally do this. When I first started making signs and shirts, that's all I used was just my iron.
Yeah, I'm just recycling my transfer tape because transfer tape is expensive.
Yes, yes it is.
And these are really big, so I want to make sure that I do a good job.
All right, so this is all flattened and pretty. I'm gonna take my iron on and I'm just going to lay it on here. And the plus side about having it on the canvas where the canvas is kind of a little bit bigger than the frame is if you mess up a little bit, you can just set your frame on to however you like.
Okay, you're gonna have to show me that trick.
All
I
right.
have yet to make a reverse canvas.
Oh, they are one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm just gonna set a timer for like 10 seconds because I have some little sparks here I'm gonna add. So I just want the HTV to adhere a little bit. I don't want to press it for the full time. Ouch. Careful, it's hot. And then I have these little sparks that I'm gonna add. I'm just
Little
gonna,
happy sparks.
yep, they're just little flashy diamonds. I'm just going to actually take them off of the little, so what's nice about HTV, it's super easy to weed, as you've found out. And it
Yes, I
already
did.
comes on this really sticky kind of transfer type paper.
Okay.
So I'm just taking it off of this so I can kind of put these colors wherever I want them. What I used, I don't know about other crafters, but I hate wasting vinyl. These were from these little squares were just from another project that I had, and I was like, maybe I'll need them for one thing, making a shirt or a sign or something. And then I was cleaning up and I was like, what am I going to do with these? So I almost threw them away. But I
Almost.
would have had to cut a full sheet of HTV just to for a 1 inch square when I had all these scraps and I could make different colors instead of doing just one color.
You were
So
so
keep your
smart.
scraps, kids.
And you know what? I started saving my vinyl scraps after I met you because before I didn't do that. And now, you remember those coasters I made with the little tiny hearts?
Yes.
And I had to use, I had to use something. Uh-oh, I got paint on my transfer tape. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I guess I didn't seal it well enough, but that's okay. I can fix it. I can fix it.
All right, I'm just laying down my little sparks and then I'm going to press it one more time. Just got a couple more.
Oh no. It is like really coming up, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to have to totally go back in and repaint that whole side, which is fine. I can totally fix it. That's no issue. But I'm just annoyed at the pizza pan for doing this to me. I did not seal it well enough. That was completely my fault.
Aww.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, you know, accidents happen. Crafters, we have issues like this all the time. And
Absolutely.
the only thing that you can do is fix it. That's all you can do. But it's just peeling up like crazy mad.
All your paint?
Yep. And just in one area. Now
Maybe it
two
didn't
areas.
dry all the way?
Yeah, this one I painted this morning, but um I'm actually kind of digging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the transfer tape back on it and rip up some more
Oh, to make it kind of distressed.
to make it distressed. Yeah, because my first thought had been to use the crackle and do like a crackle on
Yeah.
it. Um, but when I tried it the first couple of times, it did not work out very well. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, well, I guess I'm not meant to do the crackle on it, so I guess I won't. But
Yeah.
all right, so right now, see how my paint came up?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you, this is what I used to seal it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I used to seal it. So maybe it did not seal very well, or maybe I needed to paint it more and be, more kind to it. I don't know. Whatever the issue is, that's okay. I can fix it. So
I'm gonna make a loud noise real quick. I
you
forgot
are.
some. Okay, so one thing that I do after I press um my crafts and I take off the cover sheet for the HTV, if I
Mhm.
have to press again, I use parchment paper just to kind of protect both my heat press and my design.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna press it for about 20 seconds or so.
Alrighty.
All right. And there we go. I made a new sign for my craft area to hang up. And because we like glitter, I used little glitter HTVs for my little sparks, so it's shiny.
That is so cute.
All right, so now I'm going to add the frame. This is
Okay.
kind of the tricky part, only because you have to get it lined up here and then flip it and really hope that you didn't move it as you flipped. Dog hair everywhere. That's okay. So I'm going to try and even get it centered how I like it. Hopefully flat and level.
I think I just discovered a new technique and I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
See, everything happens for a reason.
it truly does. It truly, truly does. And I have a stray piece of vinyl here. Let's go ahead and grab that out. Come here, vinyl.
All right. I think I've got this where I want it. I'm gonna grab both the top corners and flip it over. And then I'm gonna use a staple gun to re-staple it. So this is gonna get kind of loud.
Okay.
I do about 3 or 4 staples, depending on the size of your canvas, per side. And you want to try and get it in the middle, so that way you have really good like coverage kind of.
Okay.
And kind of pull kind of as you're stapling, you want it to be kind of taut so you don't have the like droop in the canvas. Oop, must have hit a knot there. That didn't go in.
So now I am adding my dark purple acrylic paint and I'm doing it in splotches.
All right, staple gun, what's going on? There we go. Just going around, putting a staple in. The staple gun is being naughty.
Bad staple gun. Bad, bad.
Just going through. So I might have to, this is really loud for you guys, so I'm just gonna make it so it's pretty. And then we have a reverse canvas. Oh, I guess I could.
Aww.
So there we go.
Okay,
I
so
will,
far,
then what you do after you get it, I'll have to go back through. My staples were being naughty. Once you go back through, then what you do is just get some, I have some really good fabric scissors that are made for canvas. And I'll just go and cut it as close so it's underneath the wood so you can't see it from the inside. And
okay.
then I have these little hangers that I got from Amazon that have like the little screws on them that I then put on the back. And then it can hang on the wall. And there you go.
Beautiful. Look at you
There we go.
go.
Perfect. And it's sparkly and it's pretty. I like it.
Love it.
My staple gun was
Love
being a
it.
butthead, though.
All right, so now this one has to dry. So I de-stressed it a little bit more, and then I added some purple acrylic paint and splotches.
Mm-hmm.
But now it needs to dry, and we'll move back over to the blue one.
Yes, and I'm going to move back over to the dollar store canvas, and I'm going to make the other little one that I had. So I have my heat press.
And I'm putting on my second layer.
Your second layer of black.
Yes, my second layer of black. Second layer of black. It was
Okay.
interesting. You said you did craft shows. I've never done a craft show.
Yes, I've done a few. They're not, because I was fairly new, I was probably only about a year or so in. Well, probably not even that when I did my first craft show. So I did it with a friend, and it was my first show was wonderful. I think I made like $200. I was so excited. It was just a single day, just a small high school craft show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the most fun and stressful times being at a craft show just because you really want people to buy your stuff, but you also don't want to be one of those obnoxious salespeople and like, hey, come here, buy this stuff. That's really hot. Be careful with your iron on. It's very, very hot.
Did you just
So
cut
I was
yourself?
never like, I would never be like, oh, hey, come here, look at this. I would just be like, hi, how are you? And if they bought something, great. And I think one of my most favorite things about making custom or, like signs and stuff like this, or I make for Christmas time, I also make the personalized ornaments. And
Uh-huh.
so I just love the idea of my stuff being part of somebody's like new tradition. Like every year they're going to take my ornament and they're going to put it on their Christmas tree and they're going to be so excited to put it on their Christmas tree. And that's probably one of my most favorite things about being a crafter is when somebody does get your merchandise or any of your homemade crafts or just like you and your cup. You love your cup.
I love my cup.
And it's just so exciting to be in somebody's life and maybe when they look at it, they think of you and I just love it.
I'm gonna start working on my bow while I'm waiting for my
Oh yes, the fantastic bow making. All right, here we go. What do you think, Miss Dory?
I think it's beautiful.
And a funny thing,
Sass. This is
Sass,
true. Sassy
yes.
cat.
So there's that. And then I have my little, oh man, I did not measure that very well. That's okay. I overdid it a little bit, but that is okay. So
That's okay.
it's gonna kind of cut it off a tiny bit, but I think it still looks cute.
You know what I think the cool thing about crafting with you is I can make a ton of mistakes. Like we spend so much time just practicing before
Yes.
we actually make anything. So these are my
Mhm.
first two pizza pan signs ever.
Yes,
Um,
I need to I am not a very good bow maker. So maybe I should grab some ribbon and do a bow with you.
maybe you should. I know
I'm
you
gonna.
have such an issue with bows.
I do. I have some right here.
Since I am literally waiting for the paint to dry. Since that is my issue right now.
All right, I have this buffalo plaid. Let's just do this. So I have it is wire.
Okay, good. You know, wire is my wheelhouse. I love
Yes.
wire ribbon.
All
All
right.
right. So I'm going to make a very floofy double bow.
Okay.
So I'm going to have two parts to my bow. So I've got the plaid and I've got the burlap. All
Okay.
right. So I cut about 2 feet of burlap. So
All
about
right.
2 feet. Okay. And then I did the fancy edges, you know, the ones that you like, where you fold
Yes,
it
I love the
in
fancy
half.
edges.
Yes, so you fold it in half and then you cut on a diagonal towards the tip of the wire, and then it gives you those nice clean edges.
All right.
Then we're gonna
Got
roll it
my
around our
ribbon.
hands.
And I remember this
It's
part. Make sure the ends aren't lined up, right?
Make sure the ends are not lined up, and mine unfortunately are, so I've got to
I forgot to make my pretty ends.
put them someplace else. Especially because you don't want them in the middle.
All right, I got pretty ends.
All right. I'm gonna
And
make
I'm
your
gonna
loopies. Yep,
wrap it around my hand.
good. Just like that. Yep. So you want to wrap it so that you have like two, maybe almost three full loops. Because
Okay.
this is the top of the ribbon. So this is not the big floofy part in the back.
Okay. I
Okay.
got. I like this ribbon. This ribbon is really pretty.
That ribbon is really pretty. So then once you find your center,
Right?
do you find your center?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Squoosh,
Squoosh.
squoosh. And then I'm using just a little piece of the burlap that
Oh,
so I'm just gonna make like a little present out of it. I squooshed it in the middle. I'm gonna put a piece of glue, hot glue right here, right where I squooshed it.
all right. Let me plug in my hot glue gun real minute.
You're like, why did you have to do a fancy one right now?
Your fancy bows are my weakness, and I want to learn them so badly.
I really love bow making. My mom got me into it, and bow making is just super fun for me.
I absolutely adore your bows, and I need all the bow practice in the world.
Well, while I'm waiting for paint to dry, uh, I get it. I totally get it. Bows are really really fun and quite important to me. So in any kind of crafting, like with all the wreaths that I do and all the other
Mhm.
um, little jars and floral arrangements and stuff like that, I just want to have that extra special little love piece. And that is definitely what a bow is.
Yes. They just
So,
round out everything.
yes, they do. So, and then so I just made just like a little pretty package with that extra piece of burlap in the
Look
middle.
how perfect that looks.
Not yet. I mean, it's not even floofed up yet. Look,
I
it's not
know, but
even.
look how perfect it looks like a perfect little bow.
Oh, it's getting there. It'll get there, but it's not quite yet. And then I'm just going to cut off the little bit of extra right here. So that's going to be my middle piece, the middle of the front. And now I'm going to work on the big floofy part that is going to go at the top.
Those are my favorite.
Those are your favorite, yes. All right, so for that, I have my dollar store ribbon here, and I decided on
Mm-hmm.
this beautiful black and white check. I'm going to go ahead and already make my fancy corner. So I, cut on the diagonal. Oops, that one was not perfect. So we're going to try that again. Okay, so cut on the diagonal towards the wire to get the perfect V. And this is 9 feet of ribbon. So I know that I'm going to need about 2 feet to make a nice pretty tie for it. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and cut my 2 feet. And then I will make the other side a pretty little V as well. And then I will start wrapping the other ribbon, the larger portion from the spool.
Mm-hmm.
Love ribbon.
I'm just waiting for my heat gun to warm up.
Just waiting for your heat gun to warm up. I'm just making sure that's really straight so I don't have to come back and do it again. All right, so I'm going to put that off to the side because, you know, that comes back into the picture in just a little bit. Here's another one. Got to get the pretty little V on it. And here we go. We start. You just pull it off. Pull it off till we get to the end. You want to see if it's tape or a staple. Take that off. Make your pretty little V. So this sign is 13 inches in diameter. And I want a nice floofy bow. So if
Mm-hmm.
I were going to measure it, I would want my bow to be about 12 inches. Where's my, oh, here it is. Handy dandy tape measure. Right. So I'd want it to be about 12 inches. And, you know, you can totally eyeball it. You don't have to do it perfectly. But if you use your tape measure, get your 12 inches. And then that's where you start wrapping. And I'm going to wrap in a big circle until I have all of my loopies. Loopies. And then I definitely want to make sure that my pointed edges are not together. So see how
Yes,
they're
that
together
is
right?
the one thing I remember.
Yeah,
Never
so that,
have your ends together.
right, never have your pointed together. So we've got to kind of wiggle that around
Well,
and make
Dory,
that.
I did, this piece is cute.
Look at you go. I am so proud of you. I'm so impressed with you. You're doing, you are going to be a bow maker after all.
I don't get too carried away, Miss Dory.
You know, I think it is a distinct possibility, my darling, that you are going to be a bow maker. All right, so then you find your middle, right? And there's two ways you can do it. You can do the cut, or you can do the squishy.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, because we did the squishy with the other one, we're gonna do the squishy with. So I'm gonna find my middle. I'm gonna squish it together, and then I'm going to take my tie ribbon and I'm going to tie it together. But I want to make sure that my ends are pretty close to the same. So tie. Almost lost it there. You didn't see that. It went
If you
down.
don't see
It
anything,
went
I wasn't
bouncing.
paying attention.
It was like, I'm gonna go bounce right over here. And then once I put on the burlap, you'll see why I made it such a perfect little package. All right, so once that is all nice and totally taut, I want the knot to not be
The knot.
not. I want the knot not to be noticeable. So I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and tucked away in there. And then I'm gonna start fluffing it. I just want it to be super fluffy. So I want all of my pretty bows, my loops to just stand out nice and pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling them. 1, 2, 3, and then because it's wire, you can really floof it and make it nice and fluffy. And then you've got your edges, of course. And those we are just going to help by rolling them under a little bit and just making them just like a little tiny floof in the bow instead of a big round one. There we go. All right, so then my bow looks like this so far. Right?
right?
All
Got it?
right, perfect. So then I take my burlap and I want to make sure that my ribbon is where I want it because once I glue the burlap on, there's no going back.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to take the burlap and I'm going to floof it a little bit, make it pretty. Pull that one down. I want that one to come down. I want this one to come down a little bit. It is too long, so I need to cut it to match the other side. Here we go. Then I'm going to do this like a little package bow where you clip the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks kind of like a heart. And then I'm going to take the Gorilla Glue and glue right here in the middle of the little package that I made on the back side of the burlap. This little piece of Gorilla Glue. Woo. All right. And then I'm going to glue this right to the knot in the middle of my big floofy bow. Ow, that was hot.
Yes, hot glue is hot. Be
Hot,
careful.
hot glue is very hot. That is very, very hot. I just like glued myself again because it's hot. It's super hot, but don't glue it to your craft table. I've done that many times before too. Don't glue it to your craft table.
I
And
think
for
I might have made my first bow a bit big,
that's
but
okay.
I can make it smaller. I didn't glue it together yet.
There you go. All right, so let's see how we're doing here. Perfect. And so now I'm going to kind of crunch it up a little bit. Crunchy, 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 crunchy. There we go.
So pretty. I love you. See your bows? I mean,
There we go. There it is. So there's my
it's
bow.
beautiful.
Thank you. I try. It's a little off. It's not perfect, but this is for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna glue it onto my sign anyway. So, speaking of sign, let's give it a check and see how it's doing. All right. Let's see here. It looks pretty good. I'm not sure if
Are
I
you
can.
gonna rush it, Miss Dorie?
I'm not sure if I can trust the tape yet, but
Nice and slow.
nice and slow. And then the really neat thing is I have some beautiful vinyl washi tape,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to outline my edges of where the paint is, but I can't do that till tomorrow until it's like, fully dry.
Fully dry, yep.
Yeah, can't do that until tomorrow. So, but the cool thing about this color, what I really love about this color is that it reminds me of that the French chic
Yes. Mm-hmm.
furniture, that wood weathered look. I love, love, love that. And so, yeah, 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 love it. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love this color. I think this color is
Mm-hmm.
just so pretty. So then I've got my first stripe here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's close to perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
the outline. And I wanted to do the outline in the the washi tape, the vinyl, because I didn't want to try and paint, you know,
Make sure
six
you got a
perfect
straight
lines,
line. Yes.
right? Because you would have to do a perfect line here, perfect line here, perfect line here. So
Yes.
I'm being lazy. I'm taking the lazy way out. So I'm like washi
It
tape.
doesn't sound lazy to me. It sounds easy. What color are you going to do the line?
Well, I can't decide. So I've got black, gray, white, navy. Um, I
Ooh.
know, right? Contrasting colors.
Yeah. I
I'm
was thinking almost like a gold.
Oh, I've got gold too. I've got gold and antique gold and silver and I've got pearlescent pink and all sorts of colors. I used to scrapbook a
Oh,
lot,
mm-hmm.
especially when the kids were younger. Like I did a lot of scrapbooking when the kids were younger. They all had these ridiculously huge books of um, funny, antidotes and I ate this and I did this and I showed my mommy this and you know, 5 kids later, Aiden is the only one who does not have a huge book. The other children all have big books with
Aw.
lots of scrap pages in them and all of their little, antidotes and all that. But Aiden does not have the big book because he's
Mm-hmm.
he is completely child number 5 and mommy just ran out of time.
My mom was packing up and she actually, it's the same. There's only 3 of us, but my baby book is completely filled out, like to the max, filled out. My
Right.
sister, she's the middle. Hers is filled out for the most part. It's not near as in detail as mine. My brother doesn't even have one.
See, moms, we are brutal, man. That is exactly what happens. And you know what? I'm getting ready to pull this last vinyl off. But Cass, we're at the end of our hour.
Has it already been an hour?
It's already been an hour, and we
How is
still
that
have
even
so much left to
possible?
do. We still have so much left to do. You know what? We're gonna have to do a part 2 on signs.
Yeah, we might have
Yeah,
to.
we definitely are, because we are totally not done. I mean, I still have flowers and hot glue and ribbon and all sorts of crazy stuff to do with this thing. How much do you have left?
I just have to staple. Mine were super easy. I just have to staple mine together.
Is that
That's all
it,
I have to
really?
do. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. So you're going to have pictures for the Facebook group and I'm not. I get it. I totally get it. No worries. But how to finish this sign is you take off the vinyls, you detail it and outline it as much as you want. Then you take your beautiful florals and you glue them across the top in any fashion you want, and then you glue your bow on the top.
it's gonna be adorable. I can't wait to see it.
I can't believe I didn't get to finish. My goodness. I didn't realize it was an hour already.
I
Holy
can't. I'm
moly.
telling you, that's why you need a crafting buddy because time just literally flies when you have
Completely
somebody
flies
to craft
by.
with.
Oh my. Okay, well, what are we doing next week?
Next week we are doing. You are gonna teach us how to do wreaths.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna do which holiday? Are we gonna do Easter? Because I got some really pretty Easter ribbon and flowers. Or are we gonna do
Either
St. Patty's
either, either Easter or St. Patty's Day.
Easter or St. Patty's Day? Well, it's all
Yep.
green and fun and beautiful colors, so I'm
Yep.
sure we'll figure something out.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
I had a wonderful time.
I did too. I hope you guys all had fun also. We will post supplies in the Facebook page, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, hit us up. And please check out our YouTube video if you have questions on what we're actually doing. You can actually watch what we're doing as we do it.
Yes,
So that should make it just a little bit easier and a little bit less confusing. But we are
yes,
always available to answer
absolutely.
any question about how to do it right and how not to do
Yes,
it wrong, or how to do
yes.
it wrong and then make it right.
And then make it right.
How do you make it
Absolutely.
right? There's
Yep,
always failures in crafting.
yep. All right, Miss Dory, I love you.
All right, Miss Cassie, I love you.
Have,
Aw. Can't
have a
believe the
good
hour's up.
evening.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.